Welcome back to this Good Friday episode of World Tour on Football Manager 2021. It's the start of our sixth season in charge of Sligo Rovers, and today we are going to play our opening two games of the season. But first of all, we're going to run through the transfers that we've made and a little bit of news as well. So we've been quite busy in the transfer market. The first signing that we made was this guy, Halvardur Oscar Jensen. He's an Icelandic national. He was on a free transfer, of course. He was released by Breiðablik, and he plays at left back, and he's going to be our starting left back for this season. A 3.5-star rated left back. He looks very good. You can see he's improving in a lot of his technical areas. His tackling's quite nice in 9. Marking could do with a bit more work at 7, but his mental and physical attributes are what really stand out. A very balanced individual, and still with plenty of room for improvement. And then we brought in João Cardoso, a Portuguese national who is now valued at £120,000. He is also a 3.5-star rated player. He's going to be our backup right winger this season. You can see he's best playing at right midfield, but he can play at right wing. He's just not as good. But I just figured we needed a bit of a better backup for Torremino than Thomas Alua and Thomas Omacheri, who seem to be dipping a bit in their ability. Then we went to our affiliate club, Hellas Verona, and we signed Luca Franceschini, who is a centre midfielder. So he's going to be taking up what we'd call the Gary Buckley role from last season in the centre of midfield alongside Bertrand Conwy. He again is a 3.5-star rated player. His passing is very nice, technique of 13 and dribbling of 12, all standout attributes. Plenty of potential, but of course we won't see that come to fruition unless he gets released by Verona, which is a possibility because he is on the transfer list there, so possibly one to look out for. But then whether he'd want to come to us permanently is another question. Then we stole a player from one of our, I don't think Cork City are in the league anymore, but formerly one of our rivals. Haze Kabir, I think his name is, or Jay Kabir, or one of the two. He has been brought in as our main backup striker to Piazza. Of course, we've got Thomas Breen, but he's only 2-star ability, and he's not got much room for potential. Kabir hasn't got much room for potential, admittedly, but he is already better than Thomas Breen, and he's proven that he can score in Ireland at least, if not the Irish Premier League. Formerly playing for Cork City, Longford Town and Shelbourne. So decent player, brought in on a free transfer as always. Then we signed a starting centre-back, Harvey Cullinan. So he will be starting alongside John Mann in the majority of the games this season, meaning Sigurdas Alberkus can move to defensive midfield where he plays quite well. He's 3.5-star rated at defensive midfield. Harvey Cullinan, though, he's 3.5-star rated at central defence, and his heading and tackling are the standout technical attributes that he has with 12 and 13. Marking's okay at 9. Nice aggression of 12. His strength could do with some work. Potential to grow a little bit better, but not much considering he is 25 years old. But I think he's a pretty decent signing, again, on a free transfer, formerly of Derry City. Then we went out and signed another Icelandic national, Stefan Thor Jonsson, who was released by Íþróttabandalag Akranes. I'm probably butchering all of these pronunciations, but we'll move on. He is a 3-star rated goalkeeper with the potential to possibly get up to 5 stars compared to how we are at the moment. But he is by far and away the best goalkeeper that we have. Obviously, we had Ryan Moore and Trevor Murphy last season. Ryan Moore, a 2-star rated goalkeeper, and Trevor Murphy, a 1.5-star rated goalkeeper. But Stefan Thor Jonsson just blows them out of the water in terms of his current ability rating from our coaches. His handling is very nice. Lots of good technical attributes there. Decision making could probably do with some work, but he seems like a good player from the games that we've played so far, and he will be our first choice goalkeeper this season. Then we went out and signed a right back on loan, once again going to our affiliate club, Hellas Verona, for this. Alessandro Zito brought in at right back. He will be our starting right back this season, 4.5-star rated. We did want to try and get Pierluigi Ricordanzo back, but he didn't want to come. The club accepted our loan offer, but Ricordanzo, for some reason, didn't tell me why, just didn't want to return to Sligo, despite the fact that he apparently enjoyed his spell here. Maybe he just wanted to kick on and get into the Hellas Verona first team. I don't know. But Alessandro Zito is in for us this season. Interestingly, he was transfer listed too, and since coming in on loan to us, he's now agreed a deal with Shamrock Rovers, so he leaves us on the 1st of July this year. to go and sign permanently for Shamrock Rovers, which is a bit of a shame, but at least we've got him for half a season. And then finally, we have Andrea Zanella, who is another Italian national. He was released by Feralpi Shallow, and we came along and picked him up on a free transfer, of course. He will be back up to Giorgio Chiellini this season. And Giorgio Chiellini was sort of making noises about wanting to leave, but only if an offer of, I think it was £200,000 came in for him. Nobody wanted to pay that much for him, so he's staying. So Zanella, despite the fact that I had to promise that when Giorgio Chiellini leaves, he'd be the first choice left winger, he's going to be back up this season, unfortunately for him. But a decent player, 2.5-star current ability, 4-star potential. Hopefully he gets a few games this season. We do have quite a lot of options at left wing now, and I'm slightly regretting my decision to sign him, but we'll see what happens with him. Signed on a 2-year deal. We'll see how it goes. Now, you may recall at the end of last episode, I did say that if a job becomes available at Shamrock Rovers or one of the other better sides in the Airtricity League, that I would apply for it. The Shamrock Rovers job has become available. Aidan McGeady has gone on to bigger and better things. He's now the manager of Ipswich Town, so there is a vacancy at Shamrock Rovers. I have applied for the job. I'm not a favourite for it. Someone called Connor Kenner who I think is an unemployed manager at the moment. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm not feeling positive about getting that job. And I kind of want to see how the new signings that I've brought in this pre-season help us to push on a bit in the league as well. So that all leads in to the games that we're going to be playing in today's episode. So we have Shelbourne in the first game of the season, and then we have newly promoted Longford Town in the second game of the season. Incidentally, Galway United won their relegation playout. Can't remember who they played against, but so Galway United are still in this league this season. Only one team relegated last season. So here we go, opening day of the season, away from home to Shelbourne, and this is the lineup that we're going with. So this is the standard starting lineup that we're going to have, or that you're going to see this season. So we've got Stefan Thor Jonsson in goal, Zito at right back, Marn and Cullinan at centre back, Jensen at left back, Alberkus in defensive midfield, Conwy alongside Franceschini in centre midfield, with Franceschini playing as a box-to-box midfielder, so we don't have a ball-winning midfielder in our side anymore. Toromino at right wing. Andrea Zanella is in at left wing because George O'Kearney is suspended for this game, a suspension that's followed over from last season. And then Gabriele Piazza is playing as an advanced forward on attack. On the bench, we don't have that many options because, as you can see here, all these players are quite tired. We did play a friendly stupidly on 2 days ago in game, so that's why they are all looking tired. So on the bench, we have players like Esposito and Moretti, Cardoso, so a few of our newer players, but alongside players like Milani and Thomas Breen. So we'll see how we get on. It is our usual formation, our usual tactic. Let's see how we go. So we know the man to watch in this game for Shelbourne is George Foley. Scored many times against us in previous fixtures. We're going to say, with pump fists, I know a lot of you would be keen to avenge what happened when we last played Shelbourne. Go out there and express yourselves. Jensen's looking a bit nervous and Piazza's looking aggressive. Piazza is probably always going to look aggressive because he's got 18 aggression. He's quite an angry man. Angry old Gabriele there up front. But Halvador Oscar Jensen, let's see if we can ease his nerves a little bit. I'm going to say, I don't want you to feel any pressure on your debut. Go out there and have some fun. It didn't work. I tried my best. I'm not even going to attempt to calm Piazza down because it just seems to be the way he plays. So as we are away from home against Shelbourne, we are playing in our blue kit today. Shelbourne in the red. Let's see if we can grab a victory in the first league game of the season. So Shelbourne with the first chance possibly. Lunny gets the ball from McHugh from a free kick. Great interception from Alberkus. Piazza is in there. He's not got much support. He's going to have to do a lot of this on his own unless he can hold the ball up. He does hold the ball up. He finds Conwy, who's on the right-hand side now. He's got the overlapping fullback, but Conwy doesn't look like he's going to use him. It comes to Zito anyway. Zito loses the ball. Doyle clears it. Alberkus there to intercept with the header. And then Franceschini with a great tackle. It's Franceschini with a shot. And Franceschini, on his debut, has scored for Sligo Rovers after 16 minutes. Luca Franceschini, the loanee. I've just kicked my desk and stubbed my toe, but I don't care because it's a 1-0. What a finish. Alberkus winning the header. Lunny got the ball, but then Franceschini winning the ball back very high up the field. The formation, the tactic that we're wanting to play is possession, pressing high up the field, and Franceschini did just that and finished it brilliantly to make it 1-0. Gleeson with the goal kick for Shelbourne towards Phillips. Jensen does well to win it in the air, but it comes to Higginbottom, and then Phillips knocks it down to O'Connell for Shelbourne. Higginbottom with the ball on the right, finds Phillips, back to O'Connell. Franceschini again winning the ball brilliantly, running down this left-hand side now. He needs people to get into the box. Torremino is coming in from the far right-hand side. He's going to have to play it across the box. He gets dispossessed by McKay, but it's going to come to Mann, and we can start the attack once more. Ball over the top. Piazza is nearly through on goal, but Gleeson comes out well, but plays that terribly, and Mann gets the ball back. Now Cullinan with a ball over the top. Conwy through on goal. It's Conwy. It's a great save from Gleeson, making up for that error a few seconds ago. And we have a corner now. Conwy to take it. Plenty of options in the box for him. He hits it towards Piazza, who loops that ball way too high over the bar. But we are looking good. So we reach half time at this pretty much empty stadium in Shelbourne, and it is still 1-0. We've only allowed them to have 2 shots. They haven't yet had a shot on target. We're controlling the possession, and things are going nicely. Let's hope we can continue that in the second half. I'm going to say with outstretched arms, I'm pleased with how things are going. Keep it up. It seems to have inspired and motivated everyone. Let's see how they're all doing. Zanella is looking like he may need to come off in the second half. Fortunately, we do have Milani who can play at left wing as a replacement for him. He is on a 6.5 as well, which is sort of suggesting to me that maybe I should take him off now. So we'll do that. We'll take Zanella off. Milani can come on for him. We'll keep him as a winger on support, and hopefully we can go out there and finish this game off in the second half. So it's Doyle with the ball into Phillips, but headed away by Jensen, and now Milani can come forward with it for Sligo. Milani needs to find a pass to Piazza, or he's going to hold the ball up. He's going to run to the left-hand side. We're getting players forward. O'Connell wins the ball well, though, for Shelbourne, and they can launch an attack now. But it's intercepted by Cullinan at the back. He plays the ball forward looking for Milani again, but Phillips wins the header. Now Fuller, danger man, good tackle from Cullinan. But again, just kicked forward to no one. Higginbottom clears, intercepted by Torremino. It's a very messy play from both sides here, just giving the ball away to the other. But Conwy has the ball now for us. Torremino to Franceschini. He shoots from distance, and it's a great shot, but an even better save, even though it was straight at him. Probably not an even better save. Corner kick, Conwy takes it towards Franceschini. It's headed away by Fuller, of all people there, the striker. Throw in for Shelbourne on this right-hand side, intercepted by Albercus. And now Piazza with the ball. Needs some support to run up the field with him. He's not got many players doing that. Piazza holds it up and plays it back to Conwy. Now Zito to Conwy. Ball over the top. Piazza, surely. It's Piazza, and Gabriele Piazza has solidified our lead here at Shelbourne. It's 2-0. Great finish. It was a very tight angle. He'd gone around the keeper already because the keeper had stupidly decided to come out of his goal. Excellent ball from Conwy over the top of the defenders. Piazza, one touch, and then a finish just in the back of the net. Very narrow angle. Corner kick for Shelbourne. Barrett takes it towards Fuller. First chance of the game for Fuller, that one. Headed just over the bar. He does normally score against us, as I said at the start of the game. Now, 83 minutes gone. We do have a game against Longford Town in a few days' time, so I do think we should probably rest a few key players. Franceschini and Piazza seem to be our best players today, so I'm going to bring on Thomas Breen for Gabriele Piazza. We'll change Breen's role to his more favoured pressing forward on attack. Throw in for Shelbourne. McCabe, intercepted by Torremino, but that comes back to McHugh, headed away by Cullinan, and now we're on the attack once more. Franceschini looking for Torremino, but it's a bit of a wayward pass, and the ball's on the top to Barrett. Was he onside? Barrett? He was. Josh Barrett, with a minute left in the game, has got Shelbourne a chance to get back into this game. Hopefully we're not going to throw away a 2-goal lead. Unfortunately we're not. There's the full-time whistle. So it is a 2-1 victory, a great way to start our season. A nice 3 points picked up, and onward and upward towards the Longford Town game. We're going to say, with outstretched arms, people had written us off today and you've proved them all wrong. Well done on a great result. Hopefully we can do that a lot this season. That's just me saying the last part. That wasn't part of the team talk. So that result, after one game, everyone's played one game now. We are up to 4th in the table. I would take that from the end of the season. But of course, we've got a long way to go. So a lot of fans loving Luca Franceschini. Stephen Kavanagh says Luca Franceschini looked brilliant. Robbie Smith, fans of a player coming through the ranks, so Luca Franceschini will have earned the immediate backing of Sligo Rovers supporters. That's not entirely legitimate because he hasn't come through the ranks. He's on loan from Hellas Verona. But then we have the negative Nellies of Josh Durning saying, great, our youth-obsessed fans won't shut up about Franceschini now. So some unfortunate news ahead of the second match in today's episode. One of our new signings, João Cardoso, our backup right winger, has torn his knee ligaments. So he's going to be out for a little while. I say a little while. He's going to be out for between 2 to 4 months, which is not great. But hopefully Torremino remains fit and we don't have to worry about that. Oh well. Oh no. This is. I applied for the Shamrock job because Shamrock are obviously the best team in Ireland, but I'm not sure if I really want it. Like, I want it to be able to win the league, but then part of me has grown an affinity to Sligo and want to try and see them do better. We've been invited to interview, so we're going to attend the interview. So interview done. Let's see what happens with that. Their transfer budget is 650k. That is ridiculous compared to ours. And then they've got a wage budget of over 30 grand as well. Obviously, they're expected to win the league. I'm going to have a decision to make if they approach me. That's going to be a tough decision. So the Longford Town match has actually just been postponed, so we will no longer be doing the Longford Town game. We're instead going to be playing the Derry City game, which is in 6 days' time. Well, this is interesting. Shamrock Rovers have approached me and offered me a 2-year contract. Oh, no. I mean, yes, but no. So what do they want? They want to reach a second qualifying round of the Champions League, be competitive in the Europa Conference League, and win the SSE Airtricity League. I've got to do it. I have to do it. I have to sign with them. Just for the series, I have to do it because I have to win the league to get out of Ireland. So, unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye to Sligo Rovers. It's a day before we play Derry City as well. Oh, okay. We're going to start negotiations. Yeah, that's all fine. The division looks good. Finalised deal, and we've now become the Shamrock Rovers manager. And there's the news item. So Sligo have been paid 40 grand. So Shamrock Rovers clearly wanted me. I'm very sad to have left Sligo, but we move on to a better side in Ireland, and a side that's more capable of winning the Irish top division. So this is the best 11, apparently, and we do know a few of these players, specifically Ferrugia and Byerly. They've been pains in the bum for us in previous games. Interestingly, as I mentioned, it seems it's like a different video ago, but it was actually at the start of this video. Alessandro Zito, who's currently on loan at Sligo, is joining us, joining Shamrock, so joining us on the 1st of July 2028. So that's interesting. I'm going to have to, yes, we know all about the club vision. I'm going to have to take some time and get used to the new side. So we're not going to have another match in today's episode. We are now Shamrock Rovers manager, and I don't know how this has happened. Of course, the fact that we are expected to win the league now means that there's a hell of a lot more pressure on us to do so than there ever was at Sligo Rovers. Sligo Rovers, we just had to focus on not getting relegated. We did that well. Just about every season. But Shamrock Rovers, if we don't win the league title, we're going to be in some trouble. So it could get interesting. So looking ahead to the next episode, we actually play Sligo Rovers in a couple of games' time. So that is going to be the first game in charge of Shamrock Rovers on the channel. Sligo game and the Galway United game. Let's hope we've not made the wrong decision here and that Sligo are going to somehow go on a tear and go on and win the league. But that is it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like button, subscribe to the channel to get all my content when it comes out. Hit the notification bell to stay notified. And I'll see you next time.